Yeah, hi, we're the Solari family. This is Josephine and Jed, and we're here today to talk about new life in Jesus and how God helps us live in Jesus. Today we're going to play a game called Focus Pocus. What you're going to need is a bowl or a basket, and then some different types of balls, or any type of ball. If you don't have balls, you can just get a piece of old paper and wad it up like a ball. So get your supplies. And then what we're going to do is you put the ball out here, the basket out here, and then you get a ball, and what you're going to do is you're going to try and throw it in there, but without looking at the bowl. So you ready?
Yeah, Mom.
Yeah, okay, can you stand up? Now I want you to turn like this, turn around and look that way, and then can you try and throw the ball into the bowl? Without looking. Good job. All right, now Jed's turn. Okay, so you can hold it. Can you throw the ball, buddy?
Joe, can you help him throw the ball?
Oh. Come on. All right, now my turn. Now I'm gonna try and make it into the bowl behind me without looking. Where did it go? Right there. All right. Now we get to try again with looking at the bowl and standing as close as we want. So can you go get your ball?
Go get your 2 balls, Joe.
All right. Now we're going to try and throw them in the bowl. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, you first.
Oh, that was close.
Good.
That was close.
I'm try
Nailed it.
You can get closer if you want.
Go this way.
This way?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm back and up.
Oh!
Let's turn the direction.
All right. Now Jed's turn.
Here we go, Jed. Oh, very
Right.
nice. If you don't focus on your target, it's nearly impossible to hit it. In our day-to-day lives, it's easy to forget to focus on Jesus. And we wonder why it's so difficult to live like him. We're going to learn more about this in our video.
Paul became a Christian a few years after Jesus died and rose again. He joined the early church and traveled around sharing the gospel with others. Paul often wrote letters to churches when he was away from them. In his letter to the church at Colossae, Paul explained how people should live as followers of Jesus.
As you receive Jesus Christ as Lord, continue to live in him, Paul wrote. Build your life on him. Be strong in your faith and always be thankful. Paul told the believers to be careful about who they listen to. Sometimes the words of the world sound good and right, but they are not based on God's truth. Jesus died to set us free from the ways of the world.
Paul wrote, "Think about godly things, not earthly things. When you trusted in Jesus, you died with him. Now you live in him. So turn away from the ways of the world. Put away anger, wrath, hatred, lies, and filthy language from your mouth. Do not lie to one another. You used to live this way, but Jesus has given you a new life."
Paul said that God is making us more like Jesus. In this new life, no one is more important than anyone else. We all belong to Jesus. Paul wrote, "You are God's chosen ones, holy and dearly loved. Put on compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Bear with one another and forgive one another, because the Lord has forgiven you. Above all, put on love. Let the peace of Jesus rule your hearts and be thankful."
Paul encouraged believers to remember Jesus' teachings and obey them, teaching and encouraging one another. Sing to God with thankfulness in your hearts, Paul wrote. Children, obey your parents because this pleases God. And whatever you do everything in the name of Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him.
God changes us when we trust in Jesus. He adopts us into his family and makes us new. Jesus calls us to turn away from our sinful ways and live in a way that honors him.
Well, hi friends. Today we heard more about Paul, who we learned about last week, who started out as an enemy of Jesus and then turned out being a great one to tell everyone about Jesus, but not only just about Jesus, but how people who love Jesus can live out of their love for Jesus. So while I'm asking you some questions about the story, I thought maybe today, because the way that Paul did a lot of his work was by writing letters. They didn't have email or cell phones back when Paul was alive, and so he had to communicate by writing letters. And so he would go to a church and he would meet the people there, and then when he would leave, he would send them letters to tell them that he loved them and what God wanted for them. And how God wanted them to live as a church. So you can get a piece of paper or a note card and an envelope, and while we're talking, you can write a little letter to someone you care about. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and then you can answer me or whoever's with you in the room. So here is the first question. What is the gospel? The gospel is the good news of Jesus. Who wrote a letter to the people in the church at Colossae? Yes, you're right. It was Paul. What did Paul tell the people in his letter? Yeah, how people who love and follow Jesus are supposed to live. Now, we can still read those letters today because those letters are what make up our Bible. God, through Paul, told us how we who love Jesus are supposed to live. And that's great news because it can be confusing sometimes to know what's the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do. And sometimes, even when we know the right and wrong thing, it can be really hard to choose what's right. So who helps us live like Jesus and choose what's right? Yeah, God does. God helps us live like Jesus and choose what's right. And so that is the end of today's lesson. I will show you my letter that I wrote to my friend. It says, "Dear friend, I love you and I thank God for you. Love, Sarah." And I addressed it, and then I'm going to put it in here, and then I'm going to give it to my friends so that they know how much I care about them and how thankful I am for them. And really, I could have written this letter to each and every one of you. You know why? Because I love you, and I thank God for each and every one of you. And I pray for you, and I can't wait until next time I see you. Bye-bye.